Hi everyone, welcome back to a new Roblox story. This time, it's not a creepy horror story, just a chill, relaxing tale about 99 nights in the forest that will slowly make you sleepy and help you drift off to sleep. Close your eyes and imagine stepping into a world where ancient trees stretch toward a canvas of soft painted clouds. The air smells of pine needles and morning dew, and somewhere in the distance, you can hear the gentle crackle of a campfire and the warm laughter of friends. This is the story of Maya, Sam, Alex, and River, 4 friends who found themselves in the most beautiful and mysterious forest any of them had ever seen. As they spawned into this magical world of 99 nights in the forest, the first thing they noticed wasn't danger or fear, but wonder. Tall trees swayed gently in the breeze, their leaves catching the golden morning light and casting dancing shadows on the forest floor below. "Wow," Maya whispered, her character dressed in a simple blue hoodie and jeans, her eyes wide as she took in the scenery. "Look at this place." The forest stretched endlessly in all directions, a living tapestry of green and brown and gold. Flowers dotted the landscape like scattered jewels, bright red poppies, cheerful yellow daisies, and delicate purple lilacs that seemed to glow in the dappled sunlight. Ancient oak trees stood like gentle giants, their massive trunks scarred with age and wisdom, while birch trees with their paper-white bark created natural pathways through the woodland. Sam, wearing a comfortable green flannel shirt, was already kneeling beside a cluster of mushrooms growing at the base of a massive tree. "The detail in this world is incredible," he said softly, reaching out to gather the brown caps. "Even the mushrooms look real." Alex and River stood near what appeared to be their starting point, a small clearing where the remains of an old campfire sat cold and dark among a circle of worn stones. The ashes were grey and peaceful, waiting patiently for new wood and the spark of new life. "I think we're supposed to get this fire going," River said, their character sporting a cozy red beanie and jacket. "Look, there are some sticks over here." The 4 friends began their first task together, and it felt less like work and more like a peaceful ritual. They moved through the nearby trees, gathering fallen branches and dry twigs, the soft sound of their footsteps on the forest leaves creating a gentle rhythm. Maya found herself humming as she worked, the melody mixing with the ambient sounds of the forest, the distant call of birds, the whisper of wind through branches, the soft crunch of footsteps on the forest floor. When they returned to their campfire circle, Sam struck a match, and the small flame caught the kindling with a warm, orange glow. The fire grew slowly, lovingly tended by 4 pairs of hands, until it blazed bright and strong in the center of their little clearing. The warm light pushed back the forest shadows and created a perfect circle of safety and comfort. "There's something so cozy about this," Alex said, settling down on a log near the fire. Their character wore a comfortable purple sweater that seemed perfect for forest adventures. "It's like we're really camping," and indeed, as they sat around their crackling campfire, the forest world around them felt incredibly real and peaceful. The fire cast dancing shadows on their faces, and the warm light created a bubble of serenity in the vast woodland. This was their home now, their base camp, their safe harbour in the wilderness. As the virtual sun climbed higher in the sky, painting the forest in warm golden hues, the friends decided to explore their new world. The beauty of 99 Nights in the Forest revealed itself slowly, like pages turning in a treasured storybook. Maya discovered that the forest was filled with the most wonderful sounds. When she walked, her footsteps made soft, realistic crunches on the carpet of fallen leaves. When the breeze picked up, the trees would sway and creak in the most soothing way, their branches singing ancient songs only the forest could understand. Somewhere in the distance, she could hear the gentle babble of a stream calling to her like an old friend. "Hey, look what I found," Sam called softly from a cluster of berry bushes. His voice carried that special excitement of discovery, but gentle, like someone sharing a secret. He'd found blueberry bushes, heavy with fruit, the berries looking plump and delicious in the morning light. These are perfect for food supplies. The act of gathering berries was surprisingly meditative. Each bush required careful attention, gentle clicking to collect the fruit, and the soft sound of berries dropping into their inventory felt satisfying in the most peaceful way. Maya found herself falling into a rhythm. Click, gather, move to the next bush, click, gather, breathe in the forest air. Alex had wandered toward the sound of running water and discovered something magical. A clear, bubbling stream that wound its way through the forest like a silver ribbon. The water was so crystal clear you could see smooth stones on the bottom, and tiny digital fish darted back and forth in the current. "Guys, you have to see this stream," Alex called out, but not too loudly. The forest seemed to call for hushed, respectful voices. "It's beautiful." River had found something different but equally enchanting. A grove of fruit trees, heavy with apples and pears. The trees were ancient and wise-looking, their branches bent under the weight of their generous fruit. As River gathered the apples, each one made a soft, satisfying sound as it joined their collection. "I love how peaceful this feels," River said, reaching up for a particularly perfect apple. "There's no rush, no pressure. Just us and the forest." The friends spent the morning in this gentle exploration, each discovering their own favourite aspects of their woodland world. Maya became the berry expert, finding hidden patches of strawberries and blackberries tucked away in sunny clearings. Sam developed an eye for mushrooms, learning to spot the valuable brown caps and the occasional rare varieties growing in the shadow of fallen logs. Alex took charge of their water supply, making regular trips to the stream with containers, always taking a moment to enjoy the peaceful sound of flowing water. And River became their fruit gatherer, developing an almost artistic approach to apple picking, always choosing the ones that caught the light just right. As they worked, they chatted about everything and nothing: school, dreams, funny memories, favourite movies. The forest provided the perfect backdrop for friendship, the gentle activities of survival, creating natural pauses for conversation and comfortable silences for reflection. By afternoon, their small campfire had become the heart of something wonderful. The friends had arranged logs around it like natural chairs, and their growing collection of supplies, berries, mushrooms, apples, and sticks, created a sense of abundance and preparation. The fire itself seemed alive, its flames dancing and flickering with an almost hypnotic rhythm. Orange and yellow tongues of light reached upward, casting warm, shifting patterns of light and shadow on everything around them. Maya found herself mesmerized by the flames, the way they moved like liquid light, always changing, but always beautiful. "Look at how the fire reflects in your character's eyes," Sam said, settling back against his log with a contented sigh. The developers really thought of everything. And it was true. The attention to detail in their forest world was remarkable. The fire warmed their avatars' faces with a gentle orange glow, creating realistic shadows and highlights. When the wind picked up slightly, the flames would bend and dance, and tiny sparks would spiral up into the darkening sky like miniature stars. River had discovered the crafting system and was experimenting with combining their gathered resources. With practiced clicks, they turned sticks and stones into simple tools, the crafting interface appearing like magic in the air before them. Each successful craft felt like a small victory, a step forward in their forest life. "I love the sound it makes when you finish crafting something," River said, creating their third stone axe. The completion chime was soft and musical, like a tiny bell celebrating their success. Alex had found something even more special: the upgrade system for their campfire. By feeding it with wood and other resources, They could make the fire burn brighter and stronger, pushing back the mysterious fog that surrounded their clearing and revealing new areas of the forest to explore. "Watch this," Alex said, adding a bundle of logs to the fire. The flames leapt higher, burning with renewed vigour, and suddenly, the fog that had obscured the eastern edge of their clearing began to fade away. Like curtains being drawn back, the mist revealed new trees, new paths, new mysteries waiting to be discovered. "That's incredible," Maya breathed. "It's like the forest is slowly opening up to us." The upgraded campfire created an even larger circle of warm, safe light. The friends could venture further from their base now, always keeping the comforting glow of their fire in sight. It became their beacon, their anchor point in the vast wilderness, a promise that no matter how far they wandered, they could always come home to warmth and safety and friendship. As they sat around their enhanced fire, sharing the food they'd gathered and enjoying the peaceful crackle of burning wood, the forest around them began to prepare for evening. The light grew softer and more golden, casting everything in warm, honey-coloured hues. Bird songs became more melodic, as if the creatures of the forest were singing lullabies to end the day. The next morning brought with it the most wonderful surprise. As the friends were enjoying breakfast around their campfire, fresh berries and crisp apples that somehow tasted even better when shared with friends, Maya noticed something moving between the trees. "Look," she whispered, pointing toward a figure approaching their camp. "Someone's coming." The visitor turned out to be one of the most delightful characters they'd ever encountered. The pelt trader. He was a weathered but friendly-looking man wearing practical leather clothing, with a kind face and eyes that twinkled with the wisdom of someone who'd spent years in the wilderness. Most importantly, he radiated a sense of peaceful purpose as he approached their campfire. "Good morning, young adventurers," the pelt trader said in a warm, gravelly voice. "I see you've made yourselves quite comfortable in our forest." River was the first to approach him, curious and unafraid. The pelt trader explained his role in their forest community. He was a travelling merchant who traded in animal pelts, but not in any cruel or violent way. The forest provided what was needed, and he helped adventurers like them exchange resources for useful tools and equipment. "I have leather satchels that can help you carry more supplies," he explained, his voice gentle and unhurried. "Warmer clothes for the cool evenings, and tools that will make your forest life easier and more comfortable." The friends spent a pleasant hour with the pelt trader, learning about the forest's economy and the way resources flowed through the woodland community. He told them about rabbit pelts from the small, peaceful rabbits that lived throughout the forest, and how even these simple materials could be transformed into useful items that would enhance their wilderness experience. But the real magic happened later that afternoon when they discovered the fairy. Maya was the one who found her, following a path of especially beautiful flowers, roses and tulips and lilies that seemed almost too perfect to be real. The path led to a charming mushroom house that glowed with soft bioluminescent light, looking like something straight out of a fairy tale. And indeed, that's exactly what it was. The fairy herself was a vision of gentleness and magic. She appeared as a delicate figure with gossamer wings that caught and reflected light like prisms, wearing a dress that seemed to be woven from flower petals and moonbeams. Her voice when she spoke was like the sound of wind chimes on a gentle breeze. "Welcome to my garden," the fairy said, gesturing to the beautiful flowers that surrounded her mushroom home. "I've been waiting for friends like you to arrive." The fairy's role in their forest world was perhaps the most peaceful and nurturing of all. She was a gardener, a tender of growing things, someone who could transform the beautiful wildflowers they found throughout the forest into seeds that would let them create their own gardens around their campfire. "Flowers are the forest's way of sharing joy," the fairy explained, as Maya offered her an armful of colourful blooms they'd gathered during their morning exploration. "And joy, when planted with care, grows into abundance." In exchange for their flowers, the fairy provided them with seeds, Not just any seeds, but magical ones that would grow quickly and provide food for their forest community. Carrot seeds and potato seeds, berrybush starts, and herb seedlings that would create a sustainable source of nourishment around their campfire home. Sam was enchanted by the gardening system. "It's like we're really living off the land," he said as they planted their first rows of crops in the rich forest soil near their base. "Growing our own food, taking care of our little piece of the forest." Why, the act of gardening in the game was surprisingly meditative and satisfying. Each seed required careful placement in the soft earth, and watching the tiny green shoots emerge and grow felt like witnessing tiny miracles. The crops would grow over time, providing a steady source of food and creating beautiful green spaces around their campfire home. As their campfire grew stronger and the fog continued to recede, new paths revealed themselves throughout the forest. These weren't just random trails, but carefully crafted pathways that told stories and led to wonderful discoveries. Alex became their primary explorer, always eager to see what lay around the next bend or over the next hill. One path led to an abandoned watchtower, its wooden structure weathered but still strong, reaching up through the forest canopy toward the sky. Climbing to the top revealed breathtaking views of their forest world. Rolling hills covered in trees, distant clearings where wildflowers grew in colourful profusion, and the snaking silver lines of streams and rivers. "You can see our campfire from up here," Alex called down to the others, the warm orange glow clearly visible even from this height. It looks so cozy and welcoming. Another path, this one discovered by River, led to what appeared to be an old research station. The building was clearly abandoned, but not in a scary way. More like a place where someone had once worked with great care and attention, studying the forest and its inhabitants. Inside, they found old journals filled with observations about the local wildlife, pressed flowers preserved between pages, and sketches of various plants and animals. "Listen to this," River read aloud from one of the journals. "Day 47. The forest continues to amaze me with its resilience and beauty. Today, I observed a family of rabbits that have made their home near the old oak grove. They seem completely at peace, as if they know this forest is a place of safety. These abandoned structures throughout the forest felt like gifts from previous inhabitants, people who had loved this woodland as much as they were learning to love it. Each building contained useful supplies, but more importantly, they contained stories, evidence of others who had found peace and purpose in this beautiful wilderness." Sam discovered perhaps the most enchanting path of all, one that led to a grove of fruit trees so abundant and well tended that it felt like a natural orchard. Apple trees heavy with red and green fruit stood alongside pear trees, and even some exotic species that seemed to glow with their own inner light. The air in this grove was sweet and clean, filled with the scent of ripe fruit and blooming flowers. "It's like someone has been caring for these trees for years," Sam said, gathering apples that seemed to fall into his hands with willing abundance. "But there's no one here now. It's just waiting for us." Maya found her favourite discovery, along a path that meandered alongside the main stream, a series of natural pools where the water had carved perfect basins in the smooth rock. The pools reflected the sky like mirrors, and the sound of water trickling from one to the next created the most peaceful soundtrack imaginable. She often found herself coming here just to listen, to watch the gentle flow of water, and to feel connected to the forest's natural rhythms. Each new path they discovered felt like the forest was revealing more of its secrets, trusting them with its hidden treasures. And with each discovery, their sense of home and belonging grew stronger. They were no longer visitors in this woodland world. They were becoming part of its story. As the days passed in their forest world, the friends began to transform their simple campfire clearing into something truly special, a home that reflected their personalities and their growing connection to the wilderness around them. The process began when River discovered the furniture trader during one of their afternoon explorations. They heard the sound of horse hooves and creaking wheels before they saw him, a kindly man in brown clothing and distinctive glasses, driving a cart pulled by a gentle mare through the forest paths. "Good day, forest dwellers," the furniture trader called out in a cheerful voice. "I have beautiful things that might make your camp feel more like home." His cart was filled with the most delightful items, colourful rugs woven in patterns that reminded Maya of sunset skies, comfortable wooden chairs that looked perfect for sitting around their campfire, decorative fence posts that could help define their space, and lanterns that would provide extra pools of warm light around their camp. But what captured everyone's imagination were the signs, beautifully crafted wooden signposts that they could customize with their own messages. Alex immediately envisioned welcome signs for visitors, while Sam wanted to create markers for their various garden plots and storage areas. "We can make this place truly ours," Maya said, running her hand along the smooth wood of a particularly beautiful purple rug. "Not just a place where we survive, but a place where we live." The friends spent the afternoon arranging their new furniture with the care of interior designers. The purple rug became the centerpiece of their campfire area, with wooden chairs arranged around it in a perfect circle. River placed lanterns at strategic points around their camp, creating multiple pools of warm light that made the entire area feel welcoming and safe. Sam took charge of the practical improvements, using fence posts to create organized sections for different activities, a cooking area near the fire, a garden section for their growing crops, and a storage area where they could keep their accumulated supplies organized and accessible. Alex focused on the signs, crafting beautiful wooden markers that helped define their space. A welcome sign near the path entrance read, "Maya, Sam, Alex and River's forest home," in friendly letters. Garden markers identified their various crops: carrots by Sam, berry patch by Maya, Alex's herbs, and River's special flowers. The transformation was remarkable. What had started as a simple campfire circle had become a real home, a place that felt organized, beautiful, and completely their own. The campfire still burned at the center of it all, but now it was surrounded by comfort and personality, warm rugs and inviting furniture, gentle lantern light and welcoming signs. Maya discovered that she had a real talent for gardening, and her section of their home became a riot of colour and abundance. She planted flowers not just for trading with the fairy, but for the pure joy of seeing beautiful blooms around their camp. Red roses climbed up specially placed trellises, yellow daisies created cheerful borders around their seating areas, and purple lilacs filled the air with their gentle fragrance. Sam's practical nature expressed itself in efficiency and organisation. His storage systems were works of art in themselves, carefully labelled chests and shelves that made it easy for any of them to find what they needed. His garden plots were geometrically perfect, with straight rows and optimal spacing that maximised their food production while looking beautiful and orderly. River's artistic soul found expression in the creative arrangement of their decorative items. They had an eye for how colours worked together, how furniture could be positioned to create cosy conversation areas, and how lanterns could be placed to cast the most flattering light on their entire camp. Under River's guidance, their home became not just functional but truly beautiful. Alex's contribution was perhaps the most important of all. They created spaces that brought everyone together. A central dining area where they could share meals, a storytelling circle around the fire where they could relax and chat, and quiet meditation spots where anyone could sit alone and enjoy the peaceful sounds of the forest. One of the most surprisingly delightful aspects of their forest life turned out to be the meals they shared together. What had started as simple resource management, eating berries and apples to maintain their health, evolved into something much more meaningful, genuine communal dining experiences that brought them closer together as friends. Maya had discovered that she could combine different foods to create more satisfying meals. Fresh berries mixed with nuts created trail mix that was both delicious and energizing. Apples and pears could be combined with herbs from their garden to make refreshing salads that seemed to restore not just health, but happiness. "There's something special about eating food we grew ourselves," Sam said one evening, as they shared a meal of fresh vegetables from their garden. "It tastes different, better somehow." River had become fascinated with the cooking possibilities, experimenting with different combinations of ingredients to create meals that were both nourishing and beautiful. They arranged their food on wooden plates with an artist's eye, creating compositions that looked almost too pretty to eat. Colourful vegetables arranged in pleasing patterns, berries used as natural garnishes, fresh herbs scattered over everything like edible confetti. Alex discovered that certain combinations of foods provided special benefits: energy boosts for long exploration days, health restoration after challenging activities, and even mood improvements that made everything in the forest seem brighter and more beautiful. But more importantly, Alex realized that the act of sharing these meals was creating bonds between them that went deeper than just gaming together. "It's weird," Alex said one evening as they sat around their campfire, full and content after a particularly satisfying dinner. "We're just eating virtual food, but somehow it feels real, like we're really taking care of each other." And indeed, that's exactly what was happening. Maya would save the best berries she found for their shared meals. Sam made sure their storage was always well stocked with ingredients for everyone to use. River created beautiful table settings using their decorative items, turning every meal into a small celebration. Alex planned their daily activities around mealtimes, making sure they always returned to camp when they were hungry, ready to gather around their fire and share both food and stories. The meals themselves became rituals of friendship and gratitude. They would arrange themselves around their campfire, the warm light dancing on their faces, and take turns sharing what they had discovered during the day. Maya might describe a particularly beautiful grove of flowers she had found. Sam would tell them about a new type of mushroom he had identified. River would share stories about interesting patterns they had noticed in the wildlife. Alex would report on new areas revealed by their expanding campfire light. But the conversations weren't limited to game activities. As they ate their virtual meals in the warm glow of their digital fire, they found themselves talking about real life too: dreams and hopes, funny stories from school, favourite books and movies, plans for the future. The forest provided a peaceful backdrop for deeper friendship, and the shared meals created natural times for these meaningful conversations. The cooking process itself became a form of meditation and creativity. Gathering ingredients was like a treasure hunt through their beautiful forest world. Preparing meals was a chance to create something beautiful and nourishing for their friends. And sharing the results was a celebration of their life together in this magical woodland world. After many peaceful days of building their home and exploring their immediate forest area, the friends made a discovery that filled them with wonder and excitement. As their campfire grew stronger and pushed back more of the mysterious fog, it revealed a path leading to something completely unexpected: a winter wonderland hidden within their temperate forest world. "Is that snow?" Maya asked, peering through the trees at what appeared to be white-covered ground in the distance. Alex was the first to venture down the path, and their excited voice called back to the others: "Guys, you have to see this! It's an entire snow biome." Following the path, they emerged from their familiar green forest into a landscape transformed by winter magic. Snow covered everything in pristine white blankets, turning familiar trees into crystalline sculptures and creating an entirely new world of beauty and wonder. The air seemed crisp and clean, and their breath appeared as small puffs of vapor in the cold. "It's like stepping into a winter fairy tale," River breathed, their character automatically pulling their jacket tighter against the cold. The snow biome was more than just their familiar forest covered in white. It was a completely different ecosystem with its own unique features and challenges. Ice-covered streams created natural skating rinks that reflected the pale winter sun. Snow-laden pine trees stood like silent sentinels, their branches bent under the weight of fresh powder. And scattered throughout this winter landscape were structures and resources they had never seen before. Sam discovered that the cold affected their characters in interesting ways. "Look, we need warmer clothes to explore here comfortably," he said, noting how their avatars shivered in the crisp air. "But I bet we can find what we need." And indeed, the snow biome provided its own solutions. They found abandoned winter cabins containing cozy coats and warm boots, knitted hats, and insulated gloves that not only provided protection from the cold, but looked absolutely adorable on their characters. Maya's new winter coat was a beautiful deep blue that complemented her eyes, while River's hat had a charming pom-pom that bounced when they walked. The winter landscape revealed different types of resources and activities. Instead of the familiar berries and mushrooms of their temperate forest, they found winter herbs and root vegetables buried beneath the snow. Ice could be harvested and melted for pure, clean water, and the snow itself could be gathered and used for various crafting purposes. "This opens up so many possibilities," Alex said, building their first snowman near a frozen pond. "We could have a summer camp in our main forest and a winter retreat up here." The idea captured everyone's imagination. They spent the afternoon exploring their winter wonderland, marveling at how the familiar gameplay mechanics felt completely fresh and new in this different environment. The same cooperation and resource gathering that had created their forest home could create an entirely different kind of living space here among the snow and ice. River discovered that some of their favorite flowers grew even in winter conditions. Hardy varieties that bloomed in shades of white and pale blue, creating gardens that looked like they were made of crystallized dreams. "The fairy is going to love these winter flowers," River said, gathering armfuls of the beautiful pale blooms. Sam found winter variants of familiar animals, white rabbits whose fur provided different crafting materials, and creatures that seemed perfectly adapted to the cold environment. "The ecosystem here is completely different," he observed. "It's like exploring an entirely new world." Maya was enchanted by the way sound worked differently in the snow. Their footsteps made soft crunching noises instead of the leaf rustling of the forest floor. The wind had a different quality, creating gentle whistling sounds through the snow-covered trees. And when they lit fires in this winter landscape, the crackling flames seemed to sound warmer and more comforting than ever. The snow biome became their special retreat, a place they could visit when they wanted a change of scenery or a different kind of adventure. But it also made them appreciate their original forest home even more. After spending time in the crisp, white landscape of winter, returning to their warm campfire surrounded by green trees and colourful flowers felt like coming home to paradise. As their time in the forest world extended into weeks, the friends developed a rhythm that felt as natural and comfortable as breathing. Each day began the same way, gathering around their campfire as the virtual sun painted the forest in soft morning light, sharing a simple breakfast of fresh fruit and herbs, and planning their activities for the day. But within this comforting routine, every day brought small discoveries and gentle adventures that kept their forest life interesting and engaging. Maya had become their master gardener and flower expert. Her morning routine involved checking on all their growing plants, watering anything that needed attention, and harvesting whatever was ready. But she had also developed an artistic eye for flowers, creating bouquets and arrangements that made their camp more beautiful, while also providing resources for trading with the fairy. "I love how the flowers change throughout the day," Maya said one morning, adjusting a vase of mixed wildflowers on their outdoor dining table. "In the morning light, they look fresh and dewy. By afternoon, they're vibrant and fully open, and in the evening firelight, they look soft and dreamy." Sam had become their resource management specialist, but in the most relaxed way possible. He enjoyed the meditative aspects of gathering, the peaceful rhythm of chopping wood, the the satisfying sound of berries dropping into his inventory, the quiet focus required to spot the best mushrooms. He had developed an almost Zen-like approach to resource gathering that turned necessary activities into forms of moving meditation. There's something really peaceful about just walking through the forest, looking for what we need, Sam explained to the others. No rush, no pressure, just moving through the trees, listening to the sounds, finding what the forest wants to share with us. River had evolved into their creative director and social coordinator. They had the best eye for arranging their camp to be both beautiful and functional, and they were always the one to suggest group activities that brought everyone together. River had also become fascinated with the game's trading systems, developing relationships with the various NPCs that felt like genuine friendships. "I love talking to the fairy," River said after one of their regular flower trading visits. "She always has something interesting to say about the forest, and she seems genuinely happy to see us each time." Alex had become their explorer and planning coordinator, always eager to push the boundaries of their known world, while making sure everyone felt safe and included in their adventures. Alex had an instinct for finding the most interesting paths and the most rewarding exploration targets, but always with an eye toward activities the whole group could enjoy together. "I found another watchtower today," Alex reported during one of their evening campfire sessions. "This one has a great view of a valley we haven't explored yet. I think it would be perfect for our next group adventure." Their days followed natural cycles that felt both productive and relaxing. Mornings were for individual activities, Maya tending her gardens, Sam gathering resources, River arranging and decorating their camp, Alex scouting new areas. Afternoons were often for group adventures, exploring new regions together, trading with NPCs, working on large projects like expanding their base or creating new garden areas. But evenings were always for coming together around their campfire, sharing meals, talking about their discoveries, and planning future activities. These evening sessions had become the heart of their forest experience, times when they felt most connected both to the game world and to each other. "I love how this game never feels stressful," Maya said during one particularly peaceful evening session. "Even when we're working toward goals, it always feels relaxed and friendly." "It's the forest," Sam replied, gazing into the flames of their campfire. "There's something about this place that just makes everything feel peaceful." And indeed, the forest world had become more than just a game environment for them. It had become a refuge, a place where they could retreat from the stresses of daily life and reconnect with simple pleasures. The act of caring for their virtual home, tending their digital gardens, and maintaining their pixelated campfire had somehow become genuinely restorative and meaningful. As their forest community grew and flourished, the friends began to understand that they were part of something larger than just their own small group. The forest world was designed to encourage connection and cooperation, and they found themselves interacting with other players in ways that felt natural and positive. Sometimes they would encounter other small groups at the trading posts, and these meetings always felt like friendly encounters with fellow forest enthusiasts, rather than competitive interactions. Everyone seemed to understand that the forest was big enough for everyone, and that cooperation made the experience better for all. "Hey, we're looking for winter flowers for the fairy," another player named Luna had said during one memorable encounter at the fairy's mushroom house. "But do you know if they grow anywhere specific in the snow biome?" River had been happy to share their knowledge about winter gardening, leading to a pleasant conversation about different exploration strategies and favourite discovery spots. Luna's group had reciprocated by telling them about a beautiful grove of fruit trees they had found in a distant part of the forest, creating a natural exchange of information that helped everyone. These interactions reinforced what the friends had already learned about their forest world. It was designed to bring out the best in people. The gentle pace, the focus on cooperation rather than competition, and the beautiful environment all combined to create a space where players naturally wanted to be helpful and kind to each other. Maya had a particularly memorable encounter with a player named Cedar, who had developed an incredible flower garden near the main trading hub. Cedar had been happy to share gardening tips and even gave Maya some rare flower seeds that they couldn't find anywhere else. "The community in this game is so different from other places," Maya told her friends later. "Everyone is just nice, helpful. Like the forest makes people want to be better versions of themselves." Sam had similar experiences with other resource gatherers who were always willing to share information about the best spots for specific materials or to work together on large gathering projects that benefited everyone involved. The cooperative spirit seemed to be built into the very fabric of their forest world. Alex discovered that exploration was often even more fun when shared with players from other groups. Multi-group expeditions to distant areas felt like real wilderness adventures, with everyone contributing their skills and knowledge to ensure safe and successful journeys for all. "It's like we're all part of one big forest community," Alex observed. "Different groups with different bases, but all working together to understand and care for this amazing world." River found that the creative aspects of the game, decorating, arranging, beautifying their spaces, were enhanced by interaction with other players who had different aesthetic ideas and approaches. Seeing how other groups had arranged their camps provided inspiration and ideas that made their own home even more beautiful and functional. But perhaps most importantly, their interactions with other players reinforced their appreciation for their own tight-knit group of friends. While they enjoyed meeting other forest dwellers, they always looked forward to returning to their own campfire, their own gardens, their own perfectly arranged home in the woods. "We have something really special," River said one evening as they sat around their fire, full and content after a day of exploration and community interaction. Not just in the game, but as friends. The forest had become a place where their friendship could grow and deepen in new ways. They had learned to rely on each other, to work together toward common goals, and to create something beautiful and meaningful through cooperation and shared effort. The virtual world had somehow made their real friendships stronger and more meaningful. As their time in the forest extended, the friends began to notice subtle changes in their world that suggested the passage of time and seasons. The developers had created a world that felt alive and evolving, where returning to familiar areas might reveal new details, seasonal variations, or previously hidden secrets. Maya was the first to notice that some of her flower patches were producing different varieties as time passed. Spring flowers gave way to summer blooms, which in turn revealed autumn varieties with different colours and properties. "It's like the forest has its own natural calendar," she said, delighted to discover orange and gold flowers that only appeared during their virtual autumn season. The changing seasons affected more than just the appearance of their world. Different times brought different resources, different weather patterns, and different opportunities for exploration and discovery. Rain became more frequent during certain periods, making their campfire maintenance more important, but also creating beautiful atmospheric moments when droplets would fall gently on their camp. "I love the sound of rain on our shelter," Sam said during one particularly cozy evening, when gentle precipitation pattered on the roof of the small structure they had built near their campfire. The sound was incredibly realistic and soothing, adding another layer to the peaceful ambience of their forest home. The weather changes also revealed new gameplay mechanics. During rainy periods, certain plants grew faster and produced more abundant harvests. Clear days provided better visibility for long-distance exploration, and the rare thunderstorms, while initially intimidating, turned out to create spectacular light shows that were breathtaking to watch from the safety of their well-prepared camp. River discovered that the seasonal changes affected the NPCs as well. The fairies' inventory shifted to include seeds appropriate for different times of year. The pelt trader began offering seasonal clothing and equipment, and occasionally completely new NPCs would appear for limited times, bringing unique items and stories that added richness to their forest world. One particularly magical evening, they encountered a traveling musician, an NPC who appeared only during certain weather conditions, carrying an old guitar and willing to play soothing melodies around their campfire. The music he played was original compositions that perfectly captured the peaceful, contemplative mood of their forest life. "This is incredible," Alex said, listening to the gentle guitar melodies while watching the flames of their campfire dance in rhythm with the music. "It's like the forest is sharing its own soundtrack with us." These seasonal discoveries kept their forest life feeling fresh and engaging, even after many hours of play. Just when they thought they had seen everything their familiar areas had to offer, new details would emerge. Hidden paths revealed by changing light conditions, seasonal animals that only appeared at certain times, or weather-dependent resources that required new strategies to gather. The friends learned to pay attention to these subtle changes, developing a deeper appreciation for the complexity and thoughtfulness that had gone into creating their forest world. Every detail seemed intentional. Every seasonal variation felt natural and meaningful. But perhaps most importantly, the seasonal changes gave them new reasons to revisit and appreciate areas they thought they knew completely. A grove that was beautiful in spring took on completely different character in autumn. A stream that was refreshing in summer became magical when bordered by winter frost. Their own camp evolved with the seasons, feeling cozy and protected during rain, open and airy during clear weather. As their forest story drew toward its gentle conclusion, the friends found themselves reflecting on what this virtual world had come to mean to them. What had started as a simple game experience had evolved into something much deeper, a shared space where they had created memories, built something beautiful together, and discovered new aspects of friendship and cooperation. Their camp had become a masterpiece of collaborative creation. Maya's gardens provided not just resources but genuine beauty, with flowers and vegetables arranged in patterns that pleased the eye and nourished the soul. Sam's resource management systems ensured they always had what they needed, but more importantly, his careful attention to practical matters freed everyone else to focus on creativity and exploration. River's artistic touch was visible everywhere, in the careful arrangement of furniture, the strategic placement of lighting, the thoughtful color coordination that made their entire camp feel warm and welcoming. And Alex's exploratory spirit had opened up vast areas of their forest world, creating opportunities for adventure and discovery that kept their forest life exciting and engaging. But more than any individual contribution, their camp represented the magic that happened when friends worked together toward a common goal. Every corner of their home told a story of cooperation, compromise, shared vision, and mutual support. "Look at what we built together," Maya said one evening as they sat around their campfire, their faces warmed by the orange glow, their camp extending around them in all directions, like a small village in the woods. Not just the structures and gardens, but the whole experience. The friendship, the memories. Their forest world had taught them things about themselves and each other that they might never have discovered in any other context. They had learned about Maya's hidden talent for organization and aesthetics, Sam's natural leadership in practical matters, River's gift for bringing people together around creative projects, and Alex's ability to balance adventure with safety and inclusion. The gentle rhythms of forest life had provided a backdrop for countless conversations, shared discoveries, quiet moments of contentment, and bursts of excitement over new findings. They had developed inside jokes about their favorite NPCs, shared excitement over particularly good harvests, and created rituals around their daily activities that felt meaningful and special. "I never thought a game could feel this peaceful," Sam said, watching the flames of their campfire dance against the darkening forest around them. "Usually games are about winning or achieving something, but this feels more like just living." And indeed, that was perhaps the most remarkable thing about their forest experience. It had never felt like playing a game in the traditional sense. Instead, It had felt like sharing a life. Virtual, perhaps, but somehow real in its emotional impact and meaningful in its effect on their friendship. River had captured hundreds of screenshots of their forest adventures, creating a digital photo album of their shared experiences. Looking through these images told the story of their evolving world. Early pictures of their simple campfire, progression shots showing the growth of their gardens and the expansion of their camp, seasonal images capturing the changing beauty of their forest home, and portraits of all 4 friends in various locations throughout their woodland world. These pictures tell our story, River said, flipping through the collection on their computer while they continued to play. Look, here we are on our first day, just figuring out how to light the fire. And here we are now, with this amazing home we've created together. The images were beautiful, but they also captured something intangible, the sense of joy, discovery, and friendship that had defined their forest experience. In every picture, their avatars looked relaxed and happy, at home in their woodland world. Alex had kept a journal of their forest adventures, documenting not just what they had discovered and accomplished, but how they had felt during different experiences. Reading through these entries revealed the progression from initial excitement about a new game to deep appreciation for a shared creative project, to genuine affection for a virtual world that had become meaningful and special. Day 15 found an incredible sunset viewpoint on the hill beyond the fruit orchards. We all just stood there, watching the light change colours, not talking, just enjoying the moment together. It felt like we were really there. Day 23. Maya's winter garden is blooming, and it's the most beautiful thing I've seen in the game. White and blue flowers arranged in patterns that look like snowflakes. She has such an amazing eye for beauty. Day 31. Spent the evening just sitting around the campfire, listening to River tell stories about what they imagine the history of our forest might be. The fire was crackling, the forest was quiet around us, and I felt completely peaceful and happy. These journal entries captured what their forest experience had really been about. Not achievements or progress in any traditional gaming sense, but moments of shared beauty, creativity, friendship, and peace. As our story of Maya, Sam, Alex, and River draws to a close, they remain in their forest world, their campfire still burning bright, their gardens still growing, their friendship still strong. Because the magic of 99 Nights in the Forest is that it never really ends. It simply continues day after day, season after season, providing endless opportunities for peaceful exploration, creative collaboration, and gentle adventure. Their forest world will continue to evolve and change, offering new discoveries, seasonal variations, and opportunities for growth. New updates will bring fresh areas to explore, new NPCs to meet, and new activities to enjoy together. But the heart of their experience will remain the same. Friends gathered around a campfire in a beautiful forest, creating something meaningful together. The peace they found in their virtual forest has become something they carry with them into their real lives. The cooperation they learned through shared activities has made them better friends. The appreciation for natural beauty they developed through their garden projects has made them more aware of the real, natural world around them. And the rhythms of forest life, gathering, creating, sharing, resting, have provided them with a model for finding balance and contentment in their daily lives. When they log off from their forest world, they carry with them memories of sunset views from watchtowers, the satisfaction of successful harvests, the warmth of shared meals around their campfire, and the deep contentment that comes from building something beautiful with people you care about. But they also know that their forest home is always there, waiting for them whenever they want to return. Their campfire will still be burning, their gardens will still be growing, and the peaceful sounds of wind through trees and water over stones will still be there to welcome them home. In a world that often feels rushed and stressful, 99 Nights in the Forest provided them with something precious. A place where time moves slowly, where simple activities feel meaningful, where cooperation is more important than competition, and where the beauty of nature provides a constant backdrop for friendship and creativity. Their story in the forest will continue, day by day, night by night, season by season. New friends may join their campfire circle, new areas may be revealed by the expanding light of their fire, new adventures may call them to unexplored regions of their woodland world. But the essence of their forest experience will remain constant: the peace of nature, the warmth of friendship, the satisfaction of creating something beautiful together, and the deep contentment that comes from finding a place, even a virtual place, where you can be completely at home. As you listen to this story, perhaps you too can imagine stepping into that forest world. Picture yourself gathering berries in the morning sunlight, planting flowers in rich forest soil, sitting around a crackling campfire with friends, watching the gentle dance of flames against the peaceful darkness of the woodland night. The forest is always there, always waiting, always ready to welcome new friends into its peaceful embrace. And in that virtual wilderness, surrounded by the sounds of nature and the warmth of friendship, anyone can find the same peace, creativity, and connection that Maya, Sam, Alex, and River discovered in their 99 nights in the forest. Sweet dreams, and may your own forest adventures be filled with peace, friendship, and wonder.